What is up, everybody? You are checking out the Uncensored Wrestling Podcast. I am your host, The Hot Commodity ANC, and today you're checking out WWE Friday Night SmackDown, our recap from July 21st, 2023, live in Orlando, Florida. Let's jump right into the conversation. We have a number one contenders match. The winner of this match will take on Santos Escobar next week on Friday Night SmackDown. We have Sheamus taking on Cameron Grimes, LA Knight, and Rey Mysterio. And this was a really good, decent match. A lot of action here. The crowd was all hyped up for Mysterio. Rey during this match ends up almost hitting Austin Theory. So Theory pulls Rey out of the ring and tosses Rey into the ring steps. Santos Escobar then attacks Theory into the crowd. All men nail their finishers, but Rey Mysterio nails a Hurricane Rana roll up to Cameron Grimes and gets a 3 count. Rey Mysterio will advance and take on Santos Escobar next week on SmackDown. The winner goes on to SummerSlam to take on Austin Theory for the U.S. Championship. The Cavander twins are in the crowd. Jey Uso is walking backstage and he sees Tony D'Angelo, Stax, and the Creed brothers. All of these people are members of NXT. Speaking of NXT, we have the NXT World Champion Carmelo Hayes in the crowd with Trick Williams. Good to see them. We then get our next match, Iyo Sky with Bayley taking on Charlotte Flair, and we find out that at SummerSlam it will be the WWE Women's Champion Asuka defending against Bianca Belair and Charlotte Flair in a triple threat match. Charlotte's taking on Iyo though during this match. We see a video on the Titantron where Shotzi is calling out Bayley's name. Bayley looks nervous and she leaves. Iyo and Charlotte go back and forth. Actually really good match between the two. But Charlotte gets the win after nailing a natural selection to Iyo Sky. After the match, WWE Women's Champion Asuka attacks Charlotte Flair from behind and applies an armbar. Asuka sending a message to the Queen. We see Butch backstage and he challenges Dominik Mysterio for the NXT North American Championship in a match later on tonight. HBK accepts for tonight. Roman Reigns is backstage and he's looking at his tribal chief necklace. Bayley is begging Iyo Sky to leave. She finds a picture of her with a knife going through it with her sports bag, and Bayley and Iyo ditch it because they're afraid of Shotzi. Next, we have the WWE United States Champion Austin Theory taking on Santos Escobar here. Santos gets the win after a top rope Hurricane Rana and a Phantom Driver, and Austin Theory has his work cut out for him in case Santos makes it to SummerSlam. We then see NXT champion Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams see Bobby Lashley backstage and they say hi. That would be a fire group so far. Bobby was talking to the Street Profits last week. What's going on? We now have our NXT North American Championship on the line with the champion Dominik Mysterio with World Women's Champion Rhea Ripley defeating Butch here. During this match, Ridge Holland comes out and Pretty Deadly come out as well. Kip wheels Elton Prince down in a wheelchair. Elton injured his shoulder. During the match, Butch chases off Pretty Deadly members, and then Rhea clips Butch's knee, and Dominik sends Butch into the ring post and gets a 3 count. With the help of Rhea, Dominik retains the North American Championship. We now have our final segment in this really quick edition of Friday Night SmackDown. Jey Uso comes out, followed by the WWE champion Roman Reigns. He's with Solo Sikoa and Paul Heyman. Jey and Roman sit. Roman says, Solo, Jey, why you still want to do this? Jey says, yeah, I still do. I'm supposed to do this. You called the shot. Jimmy's in the hospital, and I have to get you. Roman says, little Jey, you ain't going to get me because you don't get it. You're just a pawn in this game. Roman signs the contract. Jey signs it too. Jey says, we don't need a contract, though. This is tribal combat now. Roman says, do the elders know? And Jey says, it was their idea. Anything goes. Roman says, you think this is my first rodeo? Roman stands up. Roman says, it's done. Let's go. Jey says, I said it's tribal combat now. That's when Roman places his necklace on the WWE Championship. They put their heads together, they being Jay and Roman. And then Solo tries to hit Jay with a Samoan spike, but Roman stops it, allowing Jay to nail Solo with a super kick. SummerSlam is going to be tribal combat between Jay and Roman. I'm all for that. That is it for this edition of Friday Night SmackDown. I want you guys to make sure you subscribe, like, and hit the notification bell on YouTube. Check us out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, and wherever you get your podcasts as well. Give us a 5-star rating. Stay safe, everybody, and stay uncensored. We got one more week till SummerSlam, a lot to go. Thank y'all. Stay safe.